Thank you for joining us. This is Gisela Castro. I am an independent insurance agency in the state of Florida. Our topic today is insurance tips for hurricane season. Hurricane season begins June 1st of 2021. Hurricane season runs until November 30th of this year. Here are some hurricane statistics for you for the past hurricane season. Most hurricane prone areas in Florida, as you can see, is Northwest Florida with the most hurricane hits in the past year. Second is Southwest Florida, and Southeast Florida comes in third, and fourth place goes to the Northeast Florida section, which is where most of you live. The safest place to be and less likely to be hit by a hurricane is inland Florida, closer to the north of Florida. That's hurricane statistics. However, the flood risks change a lot depending on where you live. As you can see, Cape Coral is the most prone to flooding. Tampa comes in second, and Jacksonville area comes in third place. Fort Lauderdale coming in fourth, and then St. Pete. Now, flood insurance and flood risk is rising water from outside. So hurricane you're not likely to have hurricane damages if you live in the Jacksonville area, but a lot more likely to have flood risk. Understanding your policy and coverages. If you own a home, you should carry a homeowner's policy, which is also known as an HO3 policy. What this does is cover the structure of your home, the outside structure, and then your contents, which are known as your personal property. That's your household items and clothing, electronic furniture, and things like that. That policy usually carries a liability coverage, and these policies generally cover you for fire, hurricane, windstorm, and other perils. Something to understand in all Florida policies is that flood insurance is excluded. So you need to have a separate flood insurance policy to cover the risk of rising water, which is flood. If you are a renter, you should carry a renter's policy, also known as an HO4. This protects your personal property inside, again, against fire, windstorm, and other perils. And most of these policies also include the liability exposure. Again, renter's policy will exclude the flood coverage. So if you want to cover your contents for flood, you have to buy a separate flood policy. And lastly, the condo owner's policy. If you own a condo unit, you should carry a condo owner's policy, which is an HO6 policy. The master policy on the condo association covers the outside structure of the building and the common areas, but you as a unit owner need to protect the inside from the walls in. That means anything that's permanently attached inside of your unit, like floor coverings, wall coverings, cabinets, and fixtures, then your personal property, and then the liability exposure. Again, if you are in a low floor of a condo building, you should consider also carrying flood insurance. If you're in a high rise, that exposure is minimal. I have a claim. Now what do I do? The most important part is really knowing the coverages before anything happens. When you're buying a policy, call your local agent, have them explain the coverages, the deductibles, and everything like that. Know where your policy is before a claim happens. You can have a physical copy, you could have an electronic copy. A lot of companies now have mobile apps that you can have on your phone, which makes it a lot easier to have the information of your policy. Also have the phone number, website, or any other information of your local agent that sold you the policy, and also the insurance company that writes the policy. If you can't get a hold of your agent, then you can go directly to the insurance company for help. Sometimes I know during hurricanes, my office, the electricity went down for over 2 weeks. So some customers were able to get through me through my phone, but if they had the phone number of their insurance company, they could have gone directly to the company and saved time that way. Remember that you have to report losses within a good time frame. So as soon as you know that you have a loss, start the report and loss process to the insurance company, because the quicker you report the claim, the quicker the adjuster is going to go out there and take a look at your property. Once a claim occurs, take pictures, keep receipts of any repairs that you have done to the property after the loss. So when the adjuster comes out there, you have all the documents. It's a lot easier to show an adjuster, what you have and what happened before you've, done certain repairs or whatever. So keep pictures, keep receipts. Once the loss is reported to the insurance company, generally speaking, an adjuster should contact you within 48 hours and then make an appointment to go out there. At that time, the adjuster will assess the losses and let you know the coverages and what deductibles apply at that time. Important to do really is to make an household inventory. It's so much easier if you have a claim to show an insurance company and the adjuster the condition of what your home looked like before the loss. So it's really important to go ahead and do a household inventory. This also helps you with making sure that you do buy the correct amount of insurance. During Hurricane Andrew, we were here in South Florida, and I had customers that had total losses. I mean, their houses were completely gone and all their contents were gone. It's so much easier if you have an inventory. And now with electronics, it's so much easier to take pictures and make videos of the interior of your house and all your possessions to show an adjuster. And unfortunately, prepare for the worst. Make an inventory, and it'll be so much easier. If you need to evacuate in case of a storm, make sure that you do take that information with you. When you make an inventory, it's a good idea to send whatever you've done, the video or the pictures, send it to another family member or friend for them to have a copy. So it'll be a backup plan for you. Make sure that everybody has a copy, and makes a lot easier. Here are some household inventory tips. Pick a software storage method. There's a lot online that you can use. Again, mobile apps are available, and online software also is available to help you with the household inventory. Again, make a list of your possessions. I tell my customers to go room by room and take a video going around the room of everything. Open your closets and take a video of your clothes, of everything. It really will jog your memory if, heaven forbid, you have a loss, to show what you had. Don't forget to also take pictures and have digital copies of any important papers with you. If you have specialty valuables like jewelry, antiques, fine arts, make a separate list of that. And those items are usually limited on your policies, on your homeowner policy, your renter's policy, or condo policy. And you should have a separate personal articles floater to ensure those items correctly. Again, keep a set of copies with you and send copies to a family member or friend just as a backup. How to prepare if a hurricane is affecting your area. If you live in a coastal area or a mobile home, you may have to evacuate in the event of a storm. Listen to the instruction of local governments, your local news. Keep up with the information so you'll be ready to evacuate on time. Create an evacuation plan. Know where the nearest shelters are ahead of time. If you have pets or special needs people in your home, make sure that the shelter that you are going to has the availability and will accept whether it's your pets or family members. If you are evacuating with pets or if you're on prescription medicines, always remember that you have to take those items with you, because the shelters, if they accept your pet, they're not going to have the pet food and things like that. So remember that. And also make a trial run before anything happens, just to know where the evacuation, what the evacuation route is and where your shelters are, and make sure that all your family knows exactly where you're going to be. If you are staying at home during a hurricane, some recommended items that you should have: make sure you have plenty of water. Battery operated radios and weather radios are important. Remember that a lot of times the electricity will go for several days or weeks. I know during the storms down here, we've been out of electrical power for 2 weeks and more. So prepare. Have flashlights, first aid kits. Remember to have extra batteries and make sure you have the right type of battery for whatever, either flashlight or the radio that you have. Make sure you have the correct batteries. A whistle. I know, again, during Hurricane Andrew, when there was devastation down here in South Florida, my customers, they were stuck inside of their house, and the emergency rescue people were trying to see if there were people inside of the house. Whistle helps. Make some noise and let them know that there are people inside of the home, so they can come and take you away. There's the tarps and plastic sheeting is very important. If there's a window that gets blown out, or the roof, the tiles blow away or something, plastic sheeting and tarps with duct tape is an excellent way to prevent further damage and water damage inside of your house. And there's some more items that you can prepare and have, like an emergency kit. I put there a manual can opener. It's very important because, again, we've been through quite a few storms here, and while you get all the food and the non-perishable stuff, and all of a sudden you're stuck and you have the food and you don't have a manual can opener. So I mean, things like that you just need to remember to keep. And charge up all your cell phones, backup batteries, and fill up your gas tank. Hurricane damage. Hurricane force winds can turn landscape material into flying objects, things that you don't think of, like pruning your trees, cutting down the shrubs. Anything can become a projectile and damage your window, or doors, or even your garage doors. So make sure that everything is cut back. Any items that you might have around the yard, like ornamental rocks or anything like that, can become a flying object. Your furniture outside, bring it in. Any pots of plants that you might have, bring them in before the storm comes and before the winds start getting heavy. Bring everything in. If you have coconut trees or fruit trees, be careful with that, because again, the damage that it can cause, and just a small hole in a window can create a lot of damage inside of your home. So make sure that everything is secure and brought in before the heavy winds start. Retrofitting your home. If you live in a mobile home, make sure that it's secure against high winds. and make sure to review your mobile home insurance policy. Also, if you live in a trailer or a boat, make sure that it's anchored correctly and secured the best you can before, again, the heavy winds start. Don't wait till the last minute and you're fighting the winds trying to secure these recreational vehicles. If you have ATVs or anything like that, try to bring them in, boat, tie them down, mobile homes, make sure it's anchored correctly. It can be wonderful living in South Florida and enjoying our lovely weather, the sun, the beaches, and everything that comes with it. Unfortunately, hurricanes are part of Florida, and we can't stress enough how important it is to be prepared. The key is being prepared for when they do threaten us. It's never too early to plan for hurricane season. I hope these tips were helpful to you, and thank you for joining us.